think any time you get injured, it's gutting, it's not nice, but to do it before a playoff final at Wembley, it really is gutting.
I think one of the worst things is seeing the boys go out to train every day knowing that you're stuck inside. Yeah, so it was a home game against QPR. Came on around 55th minute and literally not even a minute into being on the field. I've gone to make a tackle and as one foot's off the floor I've got no stability really and just been knocked to the floor. Pretty much just landed on my elbow and all the weight going through my elbow just caused my shoulder to pop and dislocate. So obviously it wasn't a very long time on the pitch and it resulted in 6 weeks in the physio room, just trying to get fit again.
Season and a half ago now, so it was the end of the 21 season I think, when we got to the playoffs. The week leading up to the playoff final, I think the final was on the Saturday or something, and I did it in the training on the Monday. It was only meant to be a simple shooting practice. I'd gone to shoot, side foot opened up and my studs got caught and I'd kind of gone over, so it'd gone that way. And I've ended up going over on my ankle and tearing one of the ligaments. One of the higher up ligaments, I can't remember what it was called now. Yeah, I mean, I missed out on the player final, which was absolutely gutting. I remember obviously doing the injury and you've got all this kind of thoughts about the injury, and it wasn't until the next day that the gaffer at the time, Steve Cooper, phoned me and was obviously speaking to me about how I'd done in the season. And then he just said, I don't know whether you want to hear it or not, but you would have been on the bench for the playoff final. And then when you hear that, it kind of hits you and you're a bit like, this really is one of the worst times to get an injury like this. So that was really tough, and then to go and watch the final, obviously disappointing to lose, but just to not be on the pitch or on the bench, it kind of made it even worse, because you never know when you're going to get a chance to go to Wembley, to get on the pitch at Wembley.
Yeah, straight away, obviously, it's a big concern when you have a big contact injury. First and foremost, you're just hoping that the player is good and not in too much pain. The process is really working on how bad is the injury, making sure pain relief is okay, and then whether they need to go through any extra imaging, go and see any specialists, and then going down potentially if the injury needs surgery, for example, and you're speaking to the specialists, and then you're getting a time frame from them really, you're kind of led by them.
There was a lot of pain in certain movements, so sleeping was quite tough on times because I had to sleep on my back in a sling, and then obviously just everyday things that I do with my left hand that I couldn't do because I couldn't move my shoulder for a little while. I think one of the worst things is seeing the boys go out to train every day knowing that you're stuck inside. But I sort of use it as motivation really to work that extra bit harder in the gym, in my rehab, just so I can get back out there as quick as I can.
In terms of recovery, it was a mixture of everything. For me, nutrition was massive. I remember coming back, one of the first things that they recommended using was turmeric shots. I was also on a lot of protein shakes, and all of this I was just trying to strengthen and heal my body, and I think ultimately it all helped and played a part.
So we use the Turmeric Co shots because the ingredients within them are better. With football and professional football, you've got the energy demands are really high, so we need to make sure that we are getting that balance correct between the carbs and the fats, and on certain days making sure our carb loading is correct. And then we're looking at micros, making sure that we're hitting all our vitamins, all our minerals, and making sure that we are supplementing the players with each vitamin and within each mineral that they maybe need.
I had obviously plenty of protein, carbohydrates, and my vegetables and that as well, and fruits. You'd have the turmeric shots as well, which obviously help with a lot of things. I do think it's definitely been a massive help to recovery and to making myself feel as good as I can going into every training session and every game.
We really look to enhance recovery as best we can. We've got many methods of doing it, and nutrition is one of those. Use of turmeric shots is massive for us. Like we say, they get worked pretty hard as an injured player, and we look to strengthen, break down and strengthen any injury site and try to really work them quite hard.
Luckily I was back in time for halfway through pre-season, and then the off-season was all about strengthening, getting myself ready to hit the ground running this season.
Now I've done all the rehab and I've been back a while, I'm really confident in it again, and it's just about keeping myself ticking over, keeping the strength high in the shoulder, and I think every day that I go out and train and it's all right, I get more confident in things I can do with it.
Using things like turmeric shots gives them a chance to recover and be able to then continually progress through their programme and return into training as quickly as possible and in as best physical position as possible.